Hello, Dr. Vikki Petersen here. I wanted to talk to you today about something that doesn't happen often, but a reader asked me about it, and I think it's important enough that we should document a good answer. And that is that we talk about the fact that going on a 30-day gluten elimination diet is a valid test. If you've had a celiac test and it was negative, doesn't even mean you don't have celiac disease, because the testing, unfortunately, is not as sensitive as it needs to be. We know that there's TTG2 testing, which is the classic celiac with digestive problems, and then there's TTG3, more for skin, and 6, which is more for neurological problems, and the 3 and 6 aren't even on the market yet. So not to confuse, but ultimately what we want to find out is your body doing well with gluten or not? And so a good fallback test is something that's completely free, something you can do yourself. So if you've had testing, it's been negative, but you're pretty suspicious, or you just want to know, you can do a 30-day gluten elimination diet, and we recommend dairy-free at the same time. And usually that tells the tale pretty clearly, and people can get dramatic changes. But what if you don't feel better after 30 days? If you don't feel better, then that's probably not the problem. Certainly gluten is problematic and influences negatively every system of our body. We know that. But it certainly doesn't mean that everything that's wrong with the human body is due to gluten. So if you go on a 30-day elimination diet and you don't feel better, then that's likely not it. Now, the caveat there is make sure you really know that you've been gluten-free. So if you're eating soy sauce because you don't know that that has gluten in it, or you eat things like meatballs and you don't understand that meatballs are made with more than meat, they're made with bread. So you have to really do your due diligence before embarking on this 30-day test and really ensure you know. Beer, as an example. Sometimes people think because it's a drink, it's okay. So really learn your do's and don'ts. You can definitely visit our website for a nice comprehensive list on that. That's healthnowmedical.com. We try to keep that very, very up to date so that you really know where gluten can sneak into your diet. Now, the question I was given from a reader was, what if you feel worse after 30 days? So she said, I've been gluten-free for 30 days and dairy-free, and I feel worse. So what's likely happening there, one of two things. One, this person is very toxic and they have to go longer than that, and there's probably other things influencing how they're feeling that have to be addressed as well. But understand that eliminating gluten and eliminating dairy is not like eliminating fruits and vegetables and water. You shouldn't feel worse taking those out of your diet. Those would not create some massive deficiency in 30 days that you would actually feel worse. So feeling worse is really indicative of a very toxic system. Other things need to be addressed in addition, and gluten and dairy might very well be a problem. Plus, the thing that I often see is someone has inadvertently started eating a lot more of something they don't do well with that they really weren't aware of. As an example, you take gluten out of your diet and you start eating a lot of corn products. So you say, oh, there's corn tortillas and corn chips and popcorn, and you start eating a lot more of corn, as an example, because it's gluten-free, which it is, but if you have a corn sensitivity, you're going to feel worse. So if you see no change, that likely means you're fine. If you feel worse, that's suspicious of you've brought something in that you're not doing well with, or the body's pretty toxic and you need some greater help. But that doesn't rule out gluten and dairy if you actually feel worse. So hopefully that clears it up. And I think it was a very good question, and one I haven't really addressed before. So I'm thankful for you readers and listeners who give me these great questions. And I hope that was informative. Until next time, always feel free to ask me questions. I love that. That's what I'm here for. And until next time, I wish you very good health.